What's up guys, Steven here, welcome back to another first look and unboxing video. Yes, I look a little bit wasted, I have some kind of allergic reaction in my eye. I have to take some pills, probably from the iPhone video. If you have not seen that, make sure you check it out. And today I want to present you the new UMI Touch. It's an Android 6 smartphone. And yeah, for an affordable price tag with some pretty good looking specs. So I would say, let's get directly started. If you're interested in this smartphone, so it's from eFox-Shop.com, and there's a link down below in the description. But now, let's go and let's do the unboxing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so here it is, the UMI Touch. And first of all, we can quickly talk about the specs. So you can see them here at the back side of the package. And it runs the MTK6753 octa-core processor, so this is not something super special, but for the price range, really okay. Android 6 Marshmallow straight out of the box, so that's good. 3 gigs of RAM, which is also good in combination with the octa-core. 16 gigabytes of memory, so ROM, 4000 milliamp hours battery, so that makes the smartphone pretty heavy. It weighs around 200 grams. 5.5 inches full HD resolution, 441 pixels per inch, and 13 megapixel Sony sensor, rear camera IMX328, and the front-facing camera it's 5 megapixel, and it's an Hynix sensor, so the HI553. Okay, as you can see, there should actually be B20 in there, so that's pretty good, and should support LTE in most of the European countries. Okay, so there we go. Let's open it up and let's see what we've got here inside. So there's the smartphone. Let's check it out. Comes in some kind of protection bag, and yeah, the first feeling, yeah, that feels pretty solid. Reminds me a lot of the Meizu M2 Note. So the feeling in my hands, at the first look, so feels pretty similar. Okay, then let's continue and let's see what else we've got here. Link to the world, yes baby. So there we go. Alright, so here we have some kind of cardboard material and probably some user guide, which is usually pretty useless. QR code, yes, quick starter guide, which just tells you, where the buttons are located, but nothing really device related. We have here the charger, and let's check out if this device has quick charging, but so far as I can tell by the weight and look of the charger, it's a normal one. So we have here a 5-watt charger, that means 5 volts, 1 amp, absolutely nothing special. In here the USB port, and well, as you can see, not a super nice charger, so just a basic one. And there we go. So it's a brand new smartphone, but it still uses micro USB, so here you can see that micro USB charging cable in the style of an iPhone cable. Alright guys, that's it. That's everything we can find inside the package, and now let's check out the smartphone. So guys, there we go. Let's check out the UMI Touch together, and here it is. Now the first feeling in my hand feels like a heavier Meizu M2 Note, so 200 grams because of the huge battery and the metal component, so it's a really heavy smartphone actually. Now the display looks pretty good, 5.5 inches full HD resolution, nice colors and viewing angles, probably not the best panel I've seen, but looks definitely great so far for the price. So what I'm not so happy with is the home button here, and the home button, it doesn't get stuck, but if you press it a little bit harder, it makes some scraping sounds and it almost gets stuck or scrapes somewhere, and that really does not feel good at all. So it feels really kind of crappy. I'm not really happy with the home button here. Now we have capacitive touch buttons. They have backlight, but they're just a little dot with white backlight. Now on the left and on the right side, we have here the bezels, so not too thick at all, 3 millimeters. At the top we have a front-facing LED flash, we have light and proximity sensor. I'm not really sure if there's a notification LED, but we'll check it out later. In the middle we have the earpiece, and here on the right side the 5 megapixel front-facing camera. So the frame made out of metal, faced, looks pretty good. On the right side of the frame we have the power button and the volume rocker, so the buttons are very stiff, feels pretty good in my hands. On the opposite side we have the SIM card tray. This one here feels pretty crappy. So I tried to open it up first of all, and somehow I couldn't open it up because I was stuck in here like this. Then I realized I have to put it a little bit upwards. Then I could open it, but I couldn't get in my SIM card because the adapter was a bit too thick, and the space here is very small, so it's very close together, and I couldn't get in my SIM card at all. I definitely have to get a micro SIM card because it has a micro SIM card slot, and actually 2 of them because it's a dual SIM phone. But if you don't do any modification, then you can only use 1 SIM card and 1 SD card at the same time. So, well, at the top we have a 3.5mm headphone jack. At the bottom we have the micro USB port all along with the microphone, and here the back side, so aluminum back cover, speaker grid here at the bottom, touch logo UMI, dual tone LED flash, camera comes a little bit out, and the bottom and the top plate, they are made out of plastic, so just to get a better reception. All in all, the smartphone feels pretty good in my hands, not too bad at all, but I'm not so happy with the SIM card tray, and I'm super not happy with the home button here, which makes some really strange sounds and sometimes almost gets a little bit stuck in there. So I charged it also a little bit, and the charging time took really ages. Now it feels like it will take over 5 hours to charge, no quick charging, but I would say let's jump directly into Android and let's see what we can find here on this baby and how Android 6 actually looks like. So ladies and gentlemen, we're now here on the smartphone, so let's check it out, and it's a pretty smooth smartphone, so it runs Android 6 straight out of the box. That's pretty good, and it's absolutely not customized. There is no bloat and no chunk on there. I can't verify the security right now, haven't done any checks, but looks pretty clean to me. So let's go here to the settings and let's check out what we can find on the smartphone. First of all, we can definitely verify, so this is no fake Android version. Here we have the marshmallow symbol, so this is working. The back button is on the right side, but probably you can switch it by software if you want to, but I'm actually used to that. We have here wireless update, and as soon as I unpacked the smartphone there was already an Octa, but UMI usually pushes out a lot of Octas right now after the release, but in the future there are not so many updates, as many people always ask for updates on their website. So also the screen brightness, it can be very bright, and yeah, it's a pretty nice looking panel actually. So let's go back here to the settings and let's go all the way up. Now here we have Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi seems to work fine, so it finds also here my second office network, one floor down, neighbors network, and so far I could connect to my LTE network and get pretty decent speeds without any speed drop. And there we go. So here we have turbo download, so it combines basically LTE and Wi-Fi if you really need something very fast. Bluetooth in there. We have here the usual stuff, so nothing special. We have the display settings, adaptive brightness and mirror vision also inside in Android 6. And we can have a look here at storage and USB. So it comes with 16 gigabytes internal memory. Totally used, so 1.8 gigabytes out of 11. So I've installed apps for around 1 gigabyte. So you have like 10 to 11 gigabytes of usable space, and my SD card works pretty fine here. So as you can see, that's my 16 gigabyte SD card in the right SIM card slot. Okay, so regarding the battery, now it seems to be quite good. So the only bad thing is that charging really takes ages. So I can't tell you the whole battery life so far right now, but there are some Geekbench tests already done on the smartphone, and I will try to link them down below in the description. Here we have memory, and as you can see, the average memory use is 1.2 gigabytes, which is less than 50% of the 3 gigabytes, which is pretty good. So the memory consumption in Android 6 looks super awesome. We have gesture sensing, which we can switch on, so it uses the proximity sensor. We have here, for instance, for the launcher, flip to mute and all that stuff, which I'm actually not using at all. Okay, we have Smart Wake, so double tap to wake up, so you don't have to miss that in Android 6, it's also included, and those draw gestures. Okay, yeah, security, blah, blah, blah. Language and input is probably interesting because, yeah, it's multi-language, not the full Android language pack, but as you can see, most of the languages are included. Sometimes the translation is not really perfect, like with that, I mean, some words will remain in English, but I think most people can live with that when you buy a Chinese smartphone. Okay, that's everything here in the settings. So, as you can see, basic launcher with nice wallpaper, nothing special in here, nothing customized. Here the menu, app drawer, as you can see, pre-installed. Not really a lot. We can quickly have a look at the camera application. And there we go. So we're now in here and the sharpness looks very good. So if you have plenty of light, like here in my studio, you can get really sharp shots. So I quickly tried it out, checked it out on the computer, and it looked quite good. I tried here also, for instance, the front-facing camera, and face beauty mode is maybe a little bit too an overkill. So I was like, what the fuck? I look like a real alien. Yeah, but so far I have to say, front-facing camera, if you have plenty of lights, looks pretty good. I will try to attach sample pictures to China devices or our blog, so make sure you check them out. So you can see it's a basic camera application, has here but a lot of those settings. We can go here to picture size, which is stuck at 21 megapixels in 4:3. If we go here to full screen, oh sorry guys, here's full screen, then we can go to picture size 21 megapixels again. So it's pretty strange, and I'm not really sure why, but let's wait for a software update. So it seems some kind of like interpolation and no downscaling. We can switch here also to the front-facing camera, so let's also check out here the picture size. Here's the camera. We have 8 megapixels here only in 4:3, and here in full screen we have also 8 megapixels. Okay, yeah, that's it. Sample pictures, I'll try to attach them down below in the description, so make sure you check this out, guys. And yeah, that's the camera on the UMI Touch, so just the first look, and also the front-facing LED flash looks quite okay to me. Okay, back to the menu. So yeah, that's everything we can find here, so the rest is pretty basic. Then now I'd say let's do a quick speaker test to hear the audio quality, and then let's do some benchmarks to see what this baby here has got under the hood. Holy crap, I almost forgot to mention the fingerprint scanner, which is included in the smartphone, so in the home button. We can quickly check it out together. So I have registered 3 fingerprints, but the same finger, but in different positions. So this is really important to get the most out of it. And the good thing is it uses the integrated API, so for the fingerprint, and not some kind of application from China, which is super crappy, but it has fingerprint calibration, and here you can add a fingerprint. But let me show you how the fingerprint works, and it works pretty good. So you just have to put your finger on the fingerprint, and you don't even have to press the home button. Now, yeah, the detection rate, I would say 8 out of 10. Let's try it again. So here from this angle, it's not so good because I have only registered once here from this position. So yeah, but it works. So it works directly from the black screen. No need to press the home button here, and it works actually pretty good. So as I've told you, I would say detection rate right now around 80% for me. Now the speaker quality does not sound really good. It sounds very flat, not too loud at all, lacks of bass. I tried MP3s and hear no copyright sounds, but just listen for yourself. And the speaker is placed here at the bottom, so it's also not a really huge one. The speaker grid is definitely bigger than the speaker at all. And not really loud, very flat. So speaker at the first look here doesn't sound really good at all. Also no notification LED, so I just checked that feature. And yeah, that's basically it. So let's jump directly to the benchmarks. So guys, there we go, the benchmarks are finished, and here's the Antutu benchmark. We score around 37k, which is in the ranking here, pretty much at the bottom. So you can see the Meizu MX5 has almost, now not really double the score, but 50k, more than 50k. Here on the info we can see Android 6.0 and yes, 64-bit. Full HD resolution, and the rear camera is here somehow software interpolated to 21.2 megapixels. So this is probably the more sharpness in the preview, but on the computer that looks so super nice. Alright, so we can have a closer look here at sensor box, and like on the most UMI phones, it comes with a fake, not working gyroscope, and also for instance here the magnetic sensor, no response, so this is not working. We have a proximity sensor which seems to work, so let me cover it, so that is working, and the rest is also working. But if you're into VR and you think full HD resolution, nice, nope, this is not going to work because you don't have a gyroscope and not even a magnetic sensor for those magnetic switches. But you can just watch some movies, and yeah, that's it. Alright, so we can have a closer look here at speed tests. So with Wi-Fi I also had absolutely no problems. So Wi-Fi seems to be quite good on the UMI Touch. In the MTK engineering mode we can see that SIM1 supports B20, as you can see right over here, so I can also definitely confirm that. Now here in CPU-C you can see that the MTK6753 in this smartphone clocks with 1.5 GHz, so this is 200 MHz more than in most of the other MTK6753 smartphones. Also here you can see, for instance, the internal storage, blah blah blah, wrong screen size. Here on the system there is no root access, so some UMI phones came pre-rooted, but not this one here. Here you can see the temperature, so it gets a little bit warm on the backside while using it. So it doesn't really get hot, no overheating so far, also during gaming, but it gets pretty much warm. Here the sensors, as we have pointed out before, some sensors here are fake. Alright, so in Geekbench 3 it scores 584 single core and 2600, 2700 multi-core, which is also quite decent for the chipset. Then now let's do a quick gaming test. Well, even though it has 3 gigs of RAM, gaming here with the full HD resolution screen, I mean it looks beautiful, but definitely it's a little bit laggy. Also here when there are many cars in Real Racing 3, so it's not some super smooth experience. Now if there's not so much going on the screen, you can get some pretty high frame rates, but also in Asphalt 8 and Modern Combat some FPS drops in here, so that's my experience here right now. Probably this could be a little bit software optimized, and yeah, that's here the first look at the gaming performance on the UMI, but the sensors are working fine, no need for calibration, and yeah, that's it. And the full HD resolution screen looks absolutely beautiful on the smartphone, so super sharp and really nice colors. I also walked a little bit outside to test the GPS performance, and it's quite decent. Now it's not the best GPS I've seen on that kind of chipset, But yeah, I could find like 3 green bars outside. We're now here indoors, so the signal is very low. So we have 10 satellites in use, 19 in view, and Octa was able to get like 12, 13 in use, and also with a pretty decent signal. Not the best one I've seen on such phones, but also very sufficient. Now pretty shiny and sunny weather outside, but I'm pretty sure also if it's raining or cloudy, then you can get at least that signal, because we're right here indoors and it works pretty good. So ladies and gentlemen, so this was my first look at the UMI Touch. Now so far seems like a pretty solid smartphone, massive battery life, but slow charging speed. Now the home button here doesn't feel so good. The rest of the build quality is quite okay. Performance could be a little bit better, but it runs Android 6 and that's also good. So really up to date. Also, yeah, the average performance in the menu is quite fast, and yeah, just the gaming performance feels like it could be a little bit improved. The rear cameras, they look quite okay if you have plenty of light, and yeah, just they need to fix the software that you can also downscale and not only use the 21 interpolated megapixels on the rear camera and 8 megapixels on the front facing camera. All in all, looks pretty decent so far. We'll now do some further testing, so stay tuned. Make sure to subscribe to our channel that you don't miss the next video. Thanks for watching guys, and see you very soon.